Welcome to Conversations Unchained.
Episode 1. It's our first episode, so bear with us.
Yes, please.
All right, so today, before we even get into it, I do want to spotlight the drink that we're sipping on, which is the Solstice Spritz, featuring the delicious Empress Gin. Yeah, I love me some gin. Yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely will encourage y'all to take the opportunity to see our tutorial video, how to mix up the Solstice Spritz. If you have the opportunity, gather the items, mix it up, and have this conversation with us and sip with us.
Yeah.
So we definitely would love that.
And these conversations are not meant to be easy, so you definitely want to watch those tutorials so you know, because you want to sip with us. It'll take a sip to kind of parse through it. So, cheers. It's tasty. Mm-hmm. I hope I'm not too, inebriated before the end of this. But let's jump into it. So I'll kick it off and just do a quick introduction. I am Lance.
Hey, I am Zay.
And Zay and I have actually been together 19 years. It actually will be 20 years next year.
Next year's 20, yeah. Yeah, our big
Jesus.
2-0. Yeah.
So we've been married 9 of those 19 years. And over the years, trust me, we've had our ups and downs, trials, tribulations, whatever you like to call them. Yeah. And what we decided would be a good idea would just to share some of those with you all and kind of how we handled it, how we got through it. Handled it, good, bad, or indifferent, we handled it.
Absolutely. One of the main purposes of Conversations Unchained is we want to truly unchain those uncomfortable conversations. We get, what our whole thought about these conversations are, let's go ahead and, it's just like let's light the match on this one. Let's get the conversation started. Whether you're comfortable with us, to go ahead and leave comments and let us know, what's specifically going on with you. Or if not, you can actually take this conversation to a group of your close friends and you can start the conversation with them. But it's all about getting it started so that we can actually talk it through. So one of the big things about Conversations Unchained.
So topic number 1.
Yes.
That's going to be financial infidelity. Right? Yeah, there is a different form of infidelity outside of cheating in a sexual manner. This is cheating in a monetary manner.
Yes.
So what is financial infidelity? I'm sure you've heard that term. It's been thrown around a lot over the last few months, years. So I'll have Zay here to kind of give a rundown on what financial infidelity is.
And I mean, definitely, after me, please jump in and let us know what your thoughts are.
Tag team.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let me take it from that.
Go ahead.
Okay. But financial infidelity, for me, this is my personal opinion on it, it's any time that you are not being honest about your pay, not being honest. Well, first, I apologize. I'm going to step back 1 second. Let's kind of classify what this truly is. So in my mind, financial infidelity happens with either married couples or with partnered living together couples. Yes. Anytime that you are truly intertwining finances together. So that's what would make the starter, I guess, for financial infidelity. Then that next step is being when you are actually being dishonest about your pay, you're being dishonest about purchases that you're making, about your true finances, about your true debt. These things would, to me, in my mind, be financial infidelity because you are not being honest with your partner, especially when you're trying to build this solid foundation with them, and you're already starting off with cracks in that foundation.
Yep.
Yeah. Lance, what's your thought?
I echo all of those sentiments, and I think you hit the nail on the head with the definition of financial infidelity, because all of those do matter. You can't build structure together if there is not some type of union. And union requires communication, which will be one of the things we talk about. You have to be able to communicate good, bad, hard conversations or indifferent. You have to have it. I don't think that a relationship, a partnership, a marriage, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it will last if you're not being honest with the person that you're trying to build with. That's easily where you start to go in separate direction. Yep. And then that initial crack turns into 3, 10, 20 cracks until the foundation crumbles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I would say, and again, I'm just going to speak solely from a personal perspective, but I've seen a lot of relationships actually either fail or have some very, very hard stumbling blocks when there was true financial infidelity in the relationship. And again, I'll say this. I personally don't think that financial infidelity is always malicious. Like, it doesn't start malicious, right? It doesn't start like, oh, I'm trying to be deceptive. It's just like, oh, they don't need to know that. No big deal. But then you get comfortable with that thought process, and then it just grows and grows and grows. And so I think that's where then you get to the true dishonesty of it. That's just, again, my opinion.
Okay. So, and I think that's a good segue into it. So, for me personally, right? No one's perfect, and I'm not going to sit here and and if you believe it, you're incorrect. I'll tell you. I don't want you to lead to the fact that I'll speak for myself that I'm perfect. I'm not. Like, we've all had struggles. Like, we're young, we grow, you learn as you grow. But for me, the piece that builds the most character is what you actually learn from the experience. So I'm pretty sure we've all been in debt. We've all had credit issues. But as long as you learn how to resolve them, how to build it, and you learn a lesson from it to not put yourself in the same predicament, that's growth. That's a journey, like, in the world. And that's what a lot of people, I don't even think that it's really, to be honest with you, I don't think that it's necessarily a hard conversation. I think a lot of people are ashamed, right? Because it's like one of those straps that you put on your shoulder that it's like the scarlet letter to actually wear. Oh, yeah, like, you have bad credit, or, oh, yeah, you have bad debt. It's not a bad thing. Right? It's something that you may have experienced and that you learned from, even though it's kind of been made one of those things, oh, like, oh, no, like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, that's not the case. People with good character, with true loyalty, that'll make good partners in a relationship, they've been through it. You don't want to be with someone, well, not let me say that, but I think that you want to have someone that has some type of, I'll call them, battle scars on them, so that they've been through it. Because, I mean, it's a good experience. But one of the things, really quick, and then you can take it away.
Absolutely.
One of the things that outside of discussing what we would consider like embarrassment or just hard to discuss with anyone else or just ashamed is just, I think it opens up a communication method for you when you actually break down and have to have the discussion, and once you actually go through it, because it's a hard subject. But go ahead.
Absolutely. No, I was just going to share. I'm pretty sure everyone's thinking, well, okay, well, you guys been together 19 years. How was it for you all? And did you experience financial infidelity? I think that's probably a fair question. And I will, I'll speak for Lance and I. Lance, please jump in at any time. Mm-hmm. But, luckily, Lance and I never did actually. We've never experienced financial infidelity with each other. We came very, very open and honest about what was going on in our finances when we first got together. And we worked through whatever was there, and we built some very, very strategic plans. And Lance and I, we're very blessed. I mean, for people that know us personally, they know that's one thing that's a constant word that I will say all the time. We are extremely blessed on having the opportunities of the things that we have and the opportunities that we're actually afforded. So, I that's just kind of just giving you guys some background with us.
Yep. And I think for financial infidelity, for me, I've always said from a relationship perspective, I'm not looking for, initially when I was looking, let's be honest, it's 19 years in now. Obviously, I'm not looking, but initially I was of the essence that I'm not going to get into a relationship with someone that I can't build with. Okay, like, you're young, you go out and have your fun, your whatever stands you call them. Okay, that's that. But when you get into like, okay, let me get to the point to where I'm building something, it's for sure going to be someone that I can see growing with, right? No one's never at a point to where they're at their peak and that's where they'll remain. You're looking to grow and actually build something. And if you can't build together, and I will say this because it is one thing that is something personally for me, like this whole scenario of splitting the bills half and half, or you pay this and I pay that, or that's your car payment and this is my car payment. No, for me, it's a union, it's a household. So everything belongs to the house. So in that case, having that discussion around the financing, because it's not something that I'm going to go out and buy something and I'm going to make the payment. No, there will be a household discussion. Then we'll go and buy it and we'll make the payment together. One income is not as good as a combined income. And I don't think that individuals truly understand their buying power when you have two versus one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll throw out there just some quick things, and y'all, please, we want this to be as interactive as possible. So please comment below. We would love to hear your comments on anything we've said so far. Definitely want to hear your comments on this specific thing. Is what are the signs? What are the signs of financial infidelity? So in my mind, the signs of financial infidelity is when you are trying to have a finance conversation with your partner and they always stray away. They always change the subject. They never really want to get really deep into it. When it comes to their bank account, they are not forthcoming with you on what's going on or what they're doing. Just like Lance said, they're not sharing those large purchase goals that they have for themselves. They're kind of keeping them, and not sharing them. And like Lance, I agree with Lance 1,000%. Anytime that Lance and I have made a huge purchase, whether it be a purchase that we both said, hey, we would like to have this, or Lance comes to me and says, hey, I think it's time for us to have X, or majority of the time it's me coming to him saying, hey, I think I would like this.
But he does have his issues. He thinks that small purchases under a certain amount shouldn't be discussed, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah, we can. I think we all have to have a little wiggle room. But yeah, what's the signs for you, Lance? Do you have any specific signs that you would say?
When you don't want to share your pay, like you don't like there, and at the end of the day, like there's this term being yoked, equally yoked, or whatever you want to call it, and especially in a same-sex relationship where you have two men, like you want to. Or you probably have this notion that you need to be the breadwinner. So if you're not making as much as the other one, one's not going to make, you're not going to walk in with equal pay. That's not realistic. Somebody's going to make more than the other one, but I'm pretty sure like where one falls short, the other one may fall a little bit or rank a little bit higher in terms of something else. So when you don't want to share your pay, you don't want to necessarily share, like this is my bank account, this is my savings and different things of that sort, that's a warning sign for me. Because if we're looking to build together, these are going to be things that we need to be able to communicate and things that we need to know.
Absolutely. And again, y'all, comment below. Let us know what your signs are. We definitely want to know. Our next thing is, it's the true consequences of financial infidelity. Yes. I think in my mind, the biggest consequence is that you no longer trust your partner. Right? If you can't trust your partner, do you truly have a relationship? Some people will say yeah, some people will say no. I can tell you my personal opinion is if I wasn't able to trust Lance, there was no way I could have been with him for 19 years. It just couldn't happen. I truly believe that there has to be this equal trust amongst both of you when someone's out, that they're doing what they said they're doing and nothing else, and there shouldn't be any underlying secrets or things going on, especially from a finance perspective. So I think the biggest consequence for me is just you lose that trust. Lance, what would you?
I think that's one of them, that you lose the trust, but My thing is when you become a partnership and a union, like I said, you're trying to build together, and when you're being dishonest about things of that sort, and you're not being transparent, transparency is key. Like in a relationship, as far as finances go, when you go to try to build something, it's going to come back to hunt you later. So why lie about it? There's no reason not to be transparent or upfront about or around your finances. Because my thing is, if you're trying to handle it, and I'll circle back to what I mentioned earlier, the power of two is better than the power of one. So if you're trying to actually pay off some things, if you collectively come together, you probably could do that a lot more quickly and kind of move to the next level in your journey together as a duo versus a single person.
Yep.
So,
Yep. I think Lance said something that to me that I want to just, again, and y'all, I will continue to say this, but this is just our opinion, right? Opinions,
Yeah.
we know what opinions are, but these are our opinions, and we just thought we would like to share so we can get the
but I'm
conversation
a Virgo.
started.
My opinion matters.
Well,
Just joking.
I'm not starting. I'm not even
Just
going
joking.
down that route. But I think the biggest thing also is that when there is one person that's unevenly yoked, it takes the partnership of both of you to come together, and before anything else, before you invest in a home, before you invest in this new car, before you invest in anything, let's both get our finances and our credit together. Yes, it's great that one person has their finances, one person has good credit and good finances, but if you are not helping your partner achieve that same goal, and you're not saying, okay, let's build out this plan, let's go ahead and figure out how we're gonna satisfy these items, then I still think we have a gap, right? You just cannot depend. Lance keeps saying it. You can't depend on the one. You should come together as a team, get these things fixed, and then move forward with all of those bigger purchases in life, because it will definitely make it much more easier, and I think causes less confusion as time progresses. So.
And then also, I think with not having the conversation, you're doing yourself a disservice, if you will, if that's even a word. But in the sense that it's two people, like you're coming from two different points of views, which is like Conversations Unchained. That's what we offer. That's what we look to offer here. But like different backgrounds, like you never know what the other individual may know and be able to offer. So if you're already struggling and it's something that you don't know, it's something that you may not have learned from family because that may have been all you've seen, right? I don't know. You can always, and obviously you trusted this person enough to get into a partnership or a marriage with, it's something that you can go to them and say, hey, well, what's your opinion? And kind of get their advice, get their take. You can communicate. Communication. You can communicate and kind of get their take. They can get your take. You can bounce ideas off of each other and come in with a happy balance. And I think that's what, with that fear of, like I said, embarrassment, you kind of lose the opportunities of learning something and being able to pick up a different method that could benefit you. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is you're losing what could be a potential benefit to yourself or to them.
Absolutely.
You never know.
And then I will say, if we have, any individuals watching this video today that you're actually in this situation, right? You're either the person that is being dishonest about your finances, or you're the person that feels like your partner is being dishonest with you about your finances. I think we can't say it enough. Our first recommendation would be definitely to have that open communication with each other and really talk through it. We definitely, Lance and I, and I'm speaking for you, jump in, Lance, but please, seek any type of, professional help that you guys deem that you guys deem comfortable for yourselves, whether it's couples counseling, whether it's individual counseling, to really dig deep and understand what's going on and to really try to work through it. Do we think this is something that's going to just oh, I found out, I'm done, I'm gone. No, I'm pretty sure that you could work through, you can work through things, but I don't. I just encourage anyone that's going through these things to seek help, like seek any type of, whether even it's just going to one of your best friend or a close friend and talking through and sharing your what's going on with you. Don't hold all that on, because I think that's when it becomes even harder. Lance, I mean, whatever.
And I think, right, you're trying to build something, right? So you come from a single life and you come into a relationship. So another, or a union, partnership, whatever. Another thing that you want to do is change. Now, I'm not saying get rid of your old surroundings, but introduce new ones, right? Because if you're single friends and you're now in a partnership, you want to keep your single friends. You need a breath of fresh air. Like, you need your outlet. I get that, and I believe in that. But you also need to, as you're growing and going in a different direction, you also want to surround yourself with individuals that are starting it and doing it the same as you, or that has been in it, right? Like, lessons learned is the oldest cliche. Like, history it repeats, right? And you can learn a lot from history and pick up on it. So surround yourself around different people that have been doing it, kind of get their take, what they've done, what has worked, what has not worked. What worked for someone else may not work for you, but you probably could take bits and pieces and kind of incorporate it and make it, you and your significant others, make it your own. So that's always something that you should keep in mind. Don't become stagnant in your current situation. Don't become stagnant with your surroundings, with the people that you're talking to. Continue to build, like meeting new people. That's one thing I will say about Zay and I. As we continue on our journey and we travel, we always meet some interesting individuals in
Absolutely.
very good ways.
Yep.
And some of them in some very peculiar ways. But hey, we'll save that for another day too. But it's always good to kind of hear and just have like general conversations, because you'll be amazed at the amount of information people release to strangers just when you're traveling, you met someone, and you're just having general conversations, and how much of it you can actually take back and apply.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Y'all, again, Lanston and I, set out to start Conversations Unchained because we wanted to be able to have these conversations and make this interactive. So please, we are definitely would love to see your comments below, love to see questions below. Please do not hesitate to, post anything there, because we want to be able to, continue this conversation, and keep the items going. I'll flip it.
So, in saying that, I would say, remember these points if you're newly entering a partnership, or if you've been in it and it's not working well. Communication, right? You need to be transparent. You want to be transparent and let them know. And if you're trying to build something, you're trying to build trust, don't be afraid to be vulnerable to the other individual and open up. I would say this: look, I am not bald, and I don't have all of these grays for no reason. And the reason sits to my right.
Well, yeah, and I own that 1,000%, y'all. I would definitely say, and remember, like, Lance and I, our opinion is our opinion, right?
Yep.
So, if these things work for you and they're working in your relationship, hey, then you're good. I mean, there's a few examples that I'll throw out that I would definitely make sure that if you're in doubt that you're in a financial infidelity situation. My very first one is if your partner makes big purchases without you. I would say if they go out and purchase a car and they come home and say, hey, look, I just bought a brand new car, you are in financial infidelity. If you are seeing your partner when their mail comes and their bank statements come, or anything from banks come, they immediately take it and they're either putting it up or they're shredding it immediately, you are in financial infidelity.
Suspect.
I last but not least, same thing. if you are seeing credit card statements coming that you didn't even know that they had these credit cards, and this is something, that you're pretty taken back about this, you are in financial infidelity.
Suspect.
I just throw out those examples again. My opinion, Lance's opinion. This is just, but we're just giving you our experience of being together 19 years and what's really helped us. And the biggest thing that's helped us is being honest and having very, very hard, uncomfortable conversations whenever needed. And I think those are key things that I would definitely recommend to anyone that's in a relationship, thinking about going into a serious relationship. If you have those few key things, I think that you guys can really make something happen.
Yeah. And, the only thing that I'll tag on, and, only because I think I'm somewhat of a comedian, which I'm not, is that also, in addition to what Zay said, if you also find yourself with someone that is partying, making lavish purchases, or eating at fancy restaurants, hanging out, and they don't have money to get the basic needs like food or gas to get them to work, suspect. Yeah,
and they're doing these things without you.
Yeah, you probably should look in a different direction. But hey, like I said, that's what Conversations Unchained is for.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, you can take, if not all, some of what we've kind of mentioned to you and apply it, and I hope that it works for you. It works for us, I can say that.
Yep.
And we've learned the hard way. Lucky for us, we learned the hard way early on, and we were able to continue on the journey. But I will say this: thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Like Zay said, please participate. Leave your comments. If there's something you want to discuss, or if there's something you want us to kind of go into further detail on, just leave it in the comments, and we can always circle back to it on the next episode. Like, subscribe, and share our videos. We will have another one coming to you soon. But
yes, I agree with Lance. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to share this conversation with us and actually sip with us. Again, y'all, like Lance, if you like it, please, like, share, subscribe. Please, in the comment section, put down what type of next conversations you would like us to have that we can bring up. I can tell you that you will see probably our next subset of conversations are going to be a lot around this type of topics. Right now, I think that we're opening the door to continue these conversations, because I think it's a lot more than just financial infidelity. I think we can have a lot of just items that we just need to talk about. So thank you all so much. We definitely appreciate it.
He's wordy. And on that note, cheers.
Cheers.
All right,
See
bye.
you next time.